Hello everyone. Well, I'm back almost a year later, and I'm really sorry about that. Been busy, traveling, life, you know how it is. Anyhow, uh, some of you know that I already made two videos about Canadian citizen getting married to a Moroccan citizen in Morocco. Now, first video is explaining about the documents that you need to obtain in Canada, and all the documents that need to be obtained in Morocco. And then the second video is the process of getting married in Morocco. And uh, I'm getting a lot of emails and questions about many of the things that I try to explain in the videos, but you know, there is always unknown, right? So it's understandable. Anyhow, this video I will be starting on sponsorship application, and what needs to be done, and just kind of give you a little guidance to what it takes to do the sponsorship application. Now the sponsorship application is usually done by Canadian citizens, right? It can be done by either together or whatever, but once the application is finished and everything's ready to go, it's actually it needs to be sent here in Canada, right? So with all that being said, again, um, when you're coming back from Morocco, you got married, everything went beautiful. Coming back from Morocco, I mentioned in one of my videos that you need to bring all the documents for the sponsorship and PR application from your spouse back to Canada, right? Which means that once you get married, you have that marriage certificate in your hand. You will get actually two originals, right? So one of the originals you have to stamp first in family court before translating the document. So you have to translate the marriage certificate in Morocco from Arabic to English in order for the document to be used here in Canada, right? Now, the second thing would be like all the documents that you had for your marriage, those are the same documents you will need for your sponsorship application, okay? So your spouse passport copies, your spouse ID copies, all his family booklet copies, okay? um, Police record. Now police record can be obtained in French, okay? So you don't have to translate the document, okay? Because you can either use the documents in English or in French, okay? But because marriage certificate you only get in Arabic, you don't get it in English or French, you have to translate the document. Now all the other documents, if they have English or French on them, you don't have to translate them, okay? You just make the copies of them and you bring them to Canada. Now, birth certificate as well. It's usually, in Arabic, right? So you have to translate from Arabic to English or French, okay? All these documents that you had for your marriage, like I said, all these documents need to be, copied, and, police record needs to be obviously original and in French. You can obtain it in French, and then marriage certificate also. You will be sending the original to the IRCC Canada. Okay, if you want to send a copy, then you have to notarize, you have to certify. Like there's too many things to do. But like I'm saying, you're already getting two originals. So one of them, the one that you will translate, that's the one you can send, right? So with all these documents, once you bring them to Canada, okay, you can start the process of doing the sponsorship. Now, the sponsorship, keep in mind all the forms that you will do for the sponsorship and PR. They're different sets of forms for sponsorship person, which means a Canadian citizen, and the PR forms are different from, uh, you know, they're different from one another. What I'm trying to say. For example, now the the sponsor would need just two forms filled out, okay? One being IMM 1344, application to sponsor, sponsorship agreement, and undertaking, okay? And the other form would be um, IMM 5532, relationship information and sponsorship evaluation. That form, this form, needs to be filled out by both of you, okay? But the only application basically that needs to be filled out by sponsor is application to sponsor, IMM 344. All the other forms that you will search about and know about, they're all just for the PR, okay, for the permanent resident, for the applicant, which means the, a Moroccan citizen. Now, I did the application by myself. I did both applications, all the forms. I filled out everything on my own. I just asked my husband for all the, information, obviously, and then everything else. I just sent them the forms later to fill to sign. He gave them back to me, and that was that. So just keep in mind that there is difference between sponsorship application and peer application, but at the end of the day, both sets of forms are actually sent to together to Sydney, Nova Scotia in Canada, to RCC to be processed. Okay. uh, this video is just about this right now. I will be starting the process of getting each form uh, known to you. So the most important form that you should go through right now before you start anything is IMM 5533, document checklist. Get to know this form very well, because this form actually tells you everything that you need to do in your application. Okay, if you guys have any questions, let me know, and wish you all the best.